I stayed because nothing bad had happened yet. Every excuse made it easier to stay one more night. That was the mistake. I moved into that apartment because it was cheap and temporary. I wasn't looking for comfort. I wasn't looking for stability. I just needed somewhere to sleep while I figured out what came next. The place came fully furnished, but it didn't feel lived in. The couch looked unused. The table was clean but never set. The living room echoed when I walked through it, like the space wasn't meant to be occupied for long. I told myself that was perfect. If I didn't get attached, leaving would be easy. The first night was quiet, so was the second. I slept lightly, but nothing woke me up. No noises, no movement, no reason to be alert. On the third night, I turned off the bedroom light and heard something shift in the living room. Not footsteps, not pacing. It sounded like weight being adjusted, like something settling into a more comfortable position. I turned the light back on. The sound stopped immediately. I checked the apartment, every door, every corner, the bathroom, the kitchen. Nothing was out of place. I stood there longer than I should have, listening. When nothing else happened, I went back to bed. I told myself old buildings make noise. That explanation was enough. So I stayed. The sound came back the next night. Same timing, same place. Always after the bedroom light went out. Always stopping the moment I stepped into the hallway. It became predictable. Light off. Sound. Light on. Silence. That routine should have bothered me more than it did. I didn't feel watched. I didn't feel threatened. The sound didn't rush. It didn't hide. It just existed. After a few nights, I stopped checking the apartment. I already knew what I wouldn't find. One night, instead of lying down, I sat on the edge of the bed with the light off, waiting. The sound started sooner than usual. Not after I closed my eyes. Not after I relaxed. While I was still sitting upright. That was the first time my body reacted before my thoughts did. My chest tightened. My breathing slowed. Whatever was making that sound wasn't responding to darkness anymore. It wasn't responding to sleep. It was responding to me. I didn't move until the sound stopped on its own. The next morning I noticed something small. My bedroom door was closed. I never close it. I stood there, hand on the knob, replaying the night before in my head. Trying to remember if I had done it without thinking. I checked the locks, the windows, the balcony door. Everything was secure. That night I tried changing things. I slept with the lights on. The sound didn't stop. It moved. Not from the living room. From the hallway. Closer. I could tell exactly where it was now. Not because I saw anything, but because the silence felt different. The next morning, a kitchen cabinet was open. One I hadn't used in days. I closed it and waited. Nothing happened. That bothered me more than if something had. I started leaving lights on when I left the apartment. I started locking doors twice. I started sleeping with my phone in my hand. None of it mattered. The sound adjusted every time. One night I woke up before the sound started. The apartment was completely still. Too still. I lay there staring at the ceiling, waiting. When the sound finally came, it didn't come from where it usually did. It came from closer than it ever had before. I didn't turn on the light. I didn't move. The sound stopped anyway. The next morning I packed a bag. Just clothes. Just essentials. I told myself I'd leave after work and decide what to do later. When I came back that night, the apartment felt wrong the moment I stepped inside. Not colder, not darker, quieter. The air felt heavy, like the space was holding on to something. My bag was unpacked. My clothes were folded and placed back exactly where they had been before. Not thrown, not hidden, corrected. That was the moment I understood this wasn't about noise. Something in that apartment was paying attention. I didn't stay another night. I didn't go back for anything else. I tell people I moved out because of the noise. That explanation makes sense to them. The truth doesn't. Something in that apartment learned my routines, learned my reactions, learned how far it could go before I'd respond. And once it did, it didn't want me to leave. The worst part wasn't realizing I was being watched. It was realizing that staying had always been my choice, and I kept making it until something else decided it didn't want me to.